Hello, my name is Arnau Rios, and I'm a theoretical nuclear physicist at the University of Surrey. I'm here today to talk to you about nuclear binding and the mathematical formula we can use to describe it. You have all probably heard the term nuclear binding energy. The binding energy of an atomic nucleus measures how much energy is gained by putting together the neutrons and protons inside of the nucleus. Let's consider the case of oxygen-14. This is an oxygen isotope, so it has 8 protons. Because it is oxygen-14, it has a total of 14 particles, so it must have 14 minus 8, 6 neutrons. With sophisticated nuclear experiments, one can weigh oxygen-14 to get its mass. This mass is less than the sum of the masses of 8 protons and 6 neutrons in oxygen-14. So, if you take the mass of 6 neutrons, add the mass of 8 protons, and subtract the mass of oxygen-14, the result is not 0. In fact, you get a positive number, about 98 megaelectronvolts. This binding energy is also a measure of the mass of the nucleus, thanks to Einstein's famous formula E equals mc squared. Binding energies are useful because they tell us a lot about nuclei themselves. Using experiments, you can find the binding energy of thousands of different nuclei and plot them in a nuclear chart. You can even build a nuclear chart out of Legos. But as a nuclear theorist, I would much prefer not to only measure, but actually to be able to predict the binding energies of nuclei. This is indeed what the liquid drop binding energy formula does. Here is a liquid drop, a water balloon. And here is the liquid drop formula. Nuclear theorists in the 1930s realized that nuclei look like water balloons and found a formula based on this idea. The formula gives the binding energy per nucleon as a function of neutron number n and proton number z. The mass number A is the sum of n and z. In your activity later on, you will explore the uses of this formula, which range from predicting the properties of yet undiscovered nuclei to providing the properties of the densest astronomical objects ever discovered, neutron stars. The binding energy formula has 5 different terms, and I will now describe them one by one. The first term is the so-called volume term. It is a constant independent of n, z, or a. The idea behind this term is that the strong nuclear force has a short range, so each neutron or proton inside the nucleus can only interact with a small and constant number of surrounding neutrons and protons. This brings in a constant positive amount to the binding energy measured by the volume parameter AV. The second term in the liquid drop formula is the surface term. Unlike the volume term, it has a minus sign in front, so its effect is to decrease the binding energy. This term comes about because a neutron or proton close to the surface interacts with less particles than one at the interior. This effect is also known as surface tension, and allows both nuclei and liquid drops to have a sharp surface. If this wasn't there, the effects would be catastrophic. See what happens when I remove the surface tension of this water balloon. Ooh. The third term in the liquid drop formula takes into account the electromagnetic Coulomb force between protons. In a nucleus like oxygen-14, this means each of the 8 protons interacts with 7 other protons to produce a repulsive term that decreases the binding energy. The Coulomb term is therefore proportional to approximately the number of protons squared, and is inversely proportional to the average distance within the nucleus square. This is where a to the power 4/3 comes from. This term, in fact, explains why heavy stable nuclei have more neutrons than protons. The fourth term of the formula is the nuclear asymmetry term. This takes into account the fact that neutrons and protons are very similar particles so long as you forget about their charge. The strong force that holds the nucleus together does not know how to distinguish these two types of particles. And the mechanism that binds the nucleus tries to have the same number of neutrons and protons. The asymmetry term provides a penalty for departing from this symmetric situation where n equals z, and is proportional to the difference of neutron and proton number n minus z squared. This term is important because it determines the mass and radius of neutron stars. The last term is the pairing term. Observing the nuclear chart, we see that nuclei with an even number of neutrons and protons are systematically more bound than nuclei with odd-even or odd-odd combinations. This is due to a phenomenon called pairing, and the final term of the liquid drop formula takes this effect into account with a function that depends on whether n and z are even or odd. We have now discussed all 5 terms in the liquid drop formula. The next few activities are designed for you to work with this formula and understand it a bit better. The formula allows us to confirm the masses of known nuclei and also to predict the binding energies of nuclei that we have not yet discovered. In one of the spreadsheet activities that you will do later on, you will also use the formula to find the mass and radius of neutron stars. Now, it is important to keep in mind that this formula is a scientific model, and like all scientific models, it may be proven wrong by new data or groundbreaking theoretical work. Who knows, you may be the next researcher to create a new binding energy formula.